on, Boston has entered the chat. You know the names. Travis Thomas, George Malecki, here inside the PNC Bank studio. How are you, my friend?
Man, there's like peeling, like giving people a glimpse behind the curtain. There's you just letting them into our inside jokes. We're just mature professionals.
Yes. Well, I will let them in.
The humor of a 7-year-old right before we go on air. I love it, though. I love it, bro.
As you all know, we are interactive here. Boston has entered the chat. We have an email you can get at us, which is the chat at NESN.com. You can also tweet at us using the hashtag NESNChat. Yep. So I'll bring you behind the curtain here since we're all family and we're all interactive. George says I have the maturity of a 7-year-old, and he's absolutely right.
Thank you. I was going to say, raise your hand if you think I'm right. You'd raise your hand. Is that out of love?
It's true. It's out of love. And out of love, coming up in this program, the college football playoff picture is becoming clearer, and the teams who are snubbed are upset. We'll discuss as always. Plus, Kendrick Lamar is coming to New England. George and I are screaming, mustard! We'll talk about that. And as always, we'll preview tonight's big NFC clash between the Packers and the Lions. But you know the drill by now, right? We give you what's trending in the world of sports and pop culture, and we get 3 minutes to break it all down. When the buzzer goes off, sometimes our esteemed producer, Ante, will hit it several times so we stop talking. But when it goes off, we got to move on. So let's get it trending. Number 1, Patriots have posted, check it out, Kendrick Lamar is coming to Gillette Stadium. And there's Tom Brady yelling, mustard! Turn the TV off. Turn the TV off. Come on. So there you go. Kendrick at Gillette.
Hey, 10 out of 10 to the social team over at the Patriots.
Big facts.
10 out of 10. It's Tom Brady screaming. Give me a Drake May screaming, but 10 out of 10.
Fair.
With the mustard. They got to lean into the hits.
It's Brady.
It's the GOAT, and you got to go coming to your stadium.
But Drake May is more likely to be screaming mustard than Tom Brady.
You got Kendrick Lamar coming to a stadium owned by a Drake. Just a Drake May.
Oh.
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
And it's perfect referencing mustard because all Drake can do at this point, the actual Drake, the rapper, not Drake May, he's a good Drake. All he can do at this point is turn the TV off. You can't go anywhere, bro. Is there going to be a lawsuit coming down? You can't play this song in the open air.
Take the whole 3. You're on fire.
Bro, Take
the whole 3.
I love it. This is sick. They got the announcement right. They had Kendrick Bourne with the jugs machine announcing Kendrick Lamar.
Right, and that was a Super Bowl commercial that Kendrick did.
Yeah. What's the song? What's the song Drake's suing?
Genius. Which They Not Like Us.
Yeah, They Not Like Us. Yeah. Like, come on. Is Drake the rapper going to sue on this? This is the best thing. Bro, his third to last concert's in Toronto.
Woo.
He's got 2 nights in New York City,
That's
I'm pretty
bold.
sure. 2 nights in LA. Third to last concerts in Toronto.
That is a bold move, Cotton.
Do it.
Yeah.
That city's going to... He disrespected DeMar.
Facts.
And he did it when DeMar couldn't even respond. Because that's the softest thing you can do.
He was hooping.
Then he did this a few days later.
Right. Sue. These are the papers.
It's a lawsuit. And then he walked away. My father's going to sue you.
You'll hear from my lawyer.
Bro, that concert's going to be sick. I don't know how concerts are at Gillette, but you're filling out a football stadium.
Yeah.
That's going to be lit, bro.
I'm on a pre-order list, whatever the hell that means, and I am willing to pay.
What's your max?
Any amount under.
Yeah. What's your max?
$1,000.
Fair.
I'll pay.
That's going to be a party.
$850. $937 after taxes. If you touch a grip, if you touch a thou wow, I'm out. I'm out.
You know what? Like
$9.99 I'll pay.
It's going to be an experience. And you know what like $850 is? It's a flight to Europe.
Yeah.
And then Europe will be more expensive, but that's an experience.
Facts.
Kendrick is an experience.
Yes. I'm willing to go anywhere under $1,000. Is there an artist, dead or alive, you would pay any amount to see?
No.
None?
No.
Ever?
No.
Even the dead?
Because you're saying any amount. You're going to throw out a number like 10,000.
Prime James Brown, I might break the bank. To see James Brown and his most like, hey! Like, I think I'd pay
like
that.
not afford the mortgage next month?
I think I may be willing to do it for James. But we'll never know, will we? All right.
One thing I don't look forward to is Robert Kraft backdooring himself into all this Kendrick Lamar content.
Yeah. Oh, that's coming.
I gotta look cool.
Yo, your craft is wild.
I got to work on it.
Hey, let's keep it with the Patriots here on what's trending. They are, I guess, breaking ground and beginning construction on a new football training facility, George. Nutrition center, player lounge, training rooms, locker rooms, weight room, practice fields, virtual reality room,
Smart.
meeting spaces, NFL draft war room, all brand spanking new.
Smart. And they need this because 2023, they got a C+ for weight room, C- for treatment of families in the NFLPA survey. The next year, and probably because nothing changed, the players are like, all right, guys, be brutally honest. They ranked 32nd for weight room, 30th for treatment of families. I think I've said it when that report came out. When you cover the Patriots in your locker room, sometimes the door will open, you'll see the weight room. I thought it was a side weight room. Like, hey, get out of meetings before you shower, get some workout. I thought it was like a treatment room with the squat rack. No, that was their main weight room. My high school had a better weight room than them. And how they treat the families, like what's the family room during games? They set up tables in the tunnel where the players walk out to get to the field. If it's cold out, it's freezing in that tunnel. So this room, this whole building, finally Robert Kraft woke up. And keep in mind, this is what he said when he was asked about the poor ratings. He's like, I must tell you, I was unaware of that, bro. You failed in 2023. You failed even worse in 2024. I'm happy Robert Kraft woke up and is finally doing it. Not debuting until 2026, though. If you did this in 2023, guess what? It'd be debuting next season.
Yeah. Want to go down a rabbit hole with me?
Let's go.
Do you think that the TB12 stuff with Alex Guerrero and all the Brady stuff, all the voodoo he did, do you think if Brady had state-of-the-art facilities, he would have never had to go down that route? There would have never been a rift between Guerrero and Belichick and Tom, and you can't have him around. If the facilities weren't trash ass, maybe Tom does TB12 right here. But instead, he had to seek outside counsel because of what you just said. He was like, man, I want to play forever. I can't do it here. Not with these weights, not with this weight room, not with these facilities. I need to look outward. In comes Alex Guerrero, and the rest is history. That's the way my brain works.
I love that theory.
Right?
But Alex Guerrero had a different approach to everything, so I think it would have had to be no matter what.
But does he ever meet him?
Because he's so banged up and so beat down.
But he's at state-of-the-art facilities. He's feeling good. Maybe he never even needs that guy. Yeah. That's my point.
I like it. I'll ride with it. I'll ride with it.
See? This is the way I think.
He saved Drake May from meeting a snake oil salesman. But it worked for Brady. So what's snake
now,
oil?
Yeah, you improved Drake May's facilities.
This had to happen no matter what.
Yeah.
And it's like, it matters. Like, why do colleges have some of the sickest facilities?
Right.
They got to recruit these kids.
Facts.
And they got to sell it to them and their families.
Yeah.
What do the Patriots have to do to free agents? We'll pay you a lot of money.
Right.
And then the opinions of families do matter. And also for the players, like, you'll pay me the money. I want to get another contract. That's your weight room. That's your nutritionist. That's your approach to recovery. I'm not coming here.
Yeah.
I want to have a long career. And also, like, you're a billionaire owner. You pay for the weight room. Why do I got to pay an Alex Guerrero to help me out?
Hey, we would love to hear what you think of my Tom Brady conspiracy theory. So email us, thechat@NESN.com. You can also tweet us with the hashtag NESN Chat. All right, next up, the Celtics. Come on, C's. They get eliminated from the NBA Cup officially now. They needed the Magic to beat the Knicks or the Knicks to win by 37, and that did not happen. So they are eliminated. And, I'll set this one off, George, because I talk about this all the time on Hold My Banner. Check that out. Fantastic program here at NESN. But I care about the real trophy and the real banner. I could care less about the NBA Cup. I respect the NBA Cup because it does give trash teams hope. They care. They want to win it. They want a little extra cabbage. They want a stupid cup. They want a stupid fake banner in their loser building. I get it, and I respect it. And you make these trash teams play harder. Young guys play harder. It's supposed to cut down on resting your starters for load management and all that nonsense. So I respect the NBA Cup. I respect, even though I think the floors are ugly, that they do for the
floors
Cup.
Are terrible.
They're terrible, but I respect that they're trying things. With that being said, I will lose zero sleep over the Celtics being eliminated from the NBA Cup. Who gives a bleepity bleep? All we care about is the next title and the next banner. Am I wrong?
Yeah, you're 100% right.
Thank you.
I agree with it all the way. They needed the Magic to beat the Knicks. Bucks won 128-107. Knicks won by only 15. They need either the Magic to beat the Knicks or Knicks win by 37.
Right.
And then they finished 3-1 in the group stage, but the Hawks won the head-to-head, so the Hawks got in. Look, you have the Rockets, the Hawks, the Magic, younger, hungry teams. Yeah, you got the Bucks, the Thunder, the Warriors, but like, it's NBA Cup, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, good.
It's okay. Like, no one's going to lose sleep. You still have to play these games. They're still going to count for your regular season record. Like, it's okay. We're okay around
This
here.
is selfless of the Celtics. It's very nice of them because they would have won the NBA Cup. But does Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown on max contracts need that $500K?
No.
Does Drew Holiday, Derek White,
No.
Sam Hauser, Kristaps Porzingis?
They're all paid.
You know who needs it? The Rockets.
Losers.
Team, the Hawks.
Losers
The
need it.
Magic.
Yes.
That's a big difference.
That's what I mean. It's a loser tournament, but I do respect what the NBA. I like. It's the right thing to
No, it's
do.
cool. The
Does
NBA
that make
Cup's
sense?
dope. Yeah,
like
yeah.
Dude, they did the right thing by inventing this.
Assistant coaches get like bonuses out of it. They
It's
get
fun.
winnings. Yeah.
I think the whole idea was like, this is the, you're trudging through the regular season right now, right? Like, so it's smart to create this urgency, right? It's a little bit of urgency.
There's no sense of urgency in the NBA until you get past New Year's anyway. So
right, that's
right
what
around
I mean.
Christmas, so they make it now.
It's smart to do it.
Yeah.
So you're creating urgency, just like this damn buzzer.
But stop the floor. Just stop with the floor.
You can't stop with the floor.
Yes, you can.
You have to differentiate between.
Just put a big ass logo. Don't
do
stop
an
with the
NBA Cup
floors.
logo.
Yeah, just stop with the floors.
Yeah, the floors are aggressive.
You don't want to watch it on TV.
It's hard on the eyes.
It's like motion sickness.
It.
Stop.
It's hard on the eyes, isn't it?
Adam, Silver.
You talking to Adam right now?
Adam, stop.
Why are you talking to Adam?
Straight up Adam.
All right, the college football rankings
Mr. Silver.
are officially out here, and here's a rankings right here, top 25. As you know, George, everyone just wants to yell about the 12 playoff teams. Particularly, I don't really have a problem with it, but as always, the teams who are snubbed, the teams on the outside looking in, everyone is so ticked off. I'm not. I get it. I'm fine with this 12 right here. Now, I will admit, if Clemson beats SMU, you really have an issue because there's going to be one spot available for a handful of teams who all are going to make their case for it. But personally, I don't really think Clemson's going to beat SMU. I've been sick and tired of waiting for SMU to lose along the way this season and get the hell out of this thing because SMU hasn't been good since before I was a kid. I mean, they were good back in the day when they were cheating, right?
Yeah.
When they were cheating.
Are they juicing?
I don't give a damn about no SMU. I don't want to see them in here. But hey, all they did all year, I bet against them, they just kept winning. So they belong here. Like, it's cool. I want them to beat Clemson and put this all to bed. I have zero problems with this. The only team, this is just me, George, the only team I think has a true case who are not happy right now is South Carolina.
Yeah.
You play in the SEC. They've been hotter than fish grease. Yes, they lost to Bama, but that was a close game. Like, I think they have a case, but that's only if Clemson wins. Other than that, I don't have a problem with this. I think the committee got it right. It's funny to me, though, George. I'll say this. It is funny to me over the years, because you know I'm a college football junkie. Over the years of my lifetime, quite frankly, from the BCS, when the computer used to pick who the champion was.
Oh, yeah, the worst.
Which was really most of my life. Then you get to the 4-team college football playoff, right? Which was the best thing ever to ever happen. We were all so excited as college football fans. But my point is, the BCS, everyone was ticked off because the computer picked one, sometimes two, which was weird, co-champs. And then, finally, you think everyone's happy because you get the 4-team playoff, except that Team 5 and 6 are ticked off that they didn't get in, so they're mad. They got their pitchforks out. Now you let everyone in. I mean, 12 teams is too much if you ask me. It's all about the moolah. We understand that. So now Teams sitting at that 13 and 14 spot are like, hey, we deserve to be in. You can't make anyone happy. It doesn't matter what you do. These are 12 teams that the committee picked that I think are spot on. I have zero problems with it. Zero. Unless Clemson wins, then we can have a discussion. Right now, I don't see why anyone's upset.
Alabama should not be in.
Oh, here you go. It's
Bro,
Alabama.
And that's why they're in.
Right.
That's all you can say. Have you watched Jalen Milroe play this year?
Oh, you hate Jalen Milroe.
Bro, he's a dynamic college football quarterback, but the volatility of him, he's just not that good.
But
Like,
you're
so careless
evaluating
with
him
the
as
football.
an NFL
No,
prospect.
I am watching him as a college quarterback. He's not good. Quinn Ewers is better than Jalen Milroe in college, but Jalen Milroe is projected to be a better NFL quarterback. Cam Ward, Shador Sanders are the two best quarterbacks in the country.
They are.
We might only get one in. We're likely to only get one
Cam
in.
Ward's not making it.
But Bama at 3 losses should not be getting in over Ole Miss. Ole Miss beat Oklahoma by 12. By 12. Bama lost to Oklahoma by 21 just a few weeks ago. They lost to Vanderbilt. They lost to Oklahoma. It's recent.
It's Alabama,
Ole Miss beat
dog.
South Carolina by 24. Bama beat them by 2. Ole Miss beat Georgia by 18.
Woo.
Bama almost had one of the most epic meltdowns of all time and held on to
Facts.
win by 7. Ole Miss proved it on the field. They dominated common opponents, and one of those being an opponent that Alabama lost to. And Ole Miss has a really good defense and a really good offense.
And a great coach who was
12
ticked, by the way. Lane Kiffin was mad.
And I
big
love that.
mad.
Oh, I love this time of year where you have coaches that now Lane Kiffin's never claimed it, but coaches. I stay off social media. I don't read that stuff.
Yeah.
He's quote tweeting random fans. He's posting Reddit
Well, he's
threads.
a cool he's a young, cool, hip
And then he
dude.
goes, "You guys actually meet for days and come up with these rankings." He's basically saying you guys are a bunch of morons,
Right.
which I love.
Yeah.
But he's right, and it's like I see that. How is Georgia 5? They lost to Bama, but then how's Ohio State 6 when they just lost to a 7-5 Michigan team, and Ohio State lost terribly at home? Like how is Georgia 5 and Ohio State is 6? And then you have Boise. Now they should get in. They could get the bye. We'll see what happens between them and UNLV. But Boise's 11-1, number 13th strength of record. Their one loss is to Oregon by 3. 3 wins versus bowl eligible opponents. 1 win versus a currently ranked team. Indiana, 11-1, number 8 strength of record. Lost to Ohio State by 23 and literally did not deserve to be on the same field as Ohio State. 3 wins versus bowl eligible opponents. No wins against currently ranked teams. Like, Boise should be in. They could get penalized for playing another game. SMU could get penalized for playing another game. Indiana, they're fine. They're sitting pretty. I like Indiana and I like Boise and I like this like change in these new bloods and these new faces. Miami should get in.
Oh, please.
Miami.
They're not getting in.
Cam Ward,
You gotta let it
they
go.
can beat anybody. Miami's 12 right now.
Yeah.
They're sitting there. If Clemson wins, they boot out Miami. If Clemson wins, they should boot out Alabama.
Oh, please.
Yes.
I think you poo-pooing the brand of Alabama is insane.
Dude, they're not good this year. And they've won they've lost at different spots and all throughout the year.
Think about this. Their matchup right now, if this thing started today, which it doesn't, but if it started today, this Alabama team that you are writing off would play Notre Dame. Do you know, George, what Notre Dame, Alabama would do for ratings? It would feed families for generations.
It would.
That's why they're there.
It would.
The Fighting Irish against Roll Tide. Are you kidding me? You know what doesn't get people excited? Notre Dame against who?
Ole Miss.
Oh, please.
I hate you.
What's up, Vaughn?
Miami, Notre Dame.
Miami,
Notre Dame.
Miami's cool. Roll Tide's
Catholics
cooler.
and the convicts.
Roll Tide's got a better resume. That's all I'm saying. And by the way, Catholics convicts was so long ago. This Miami team is boring outside of Cam Ward.
Miami's 2 losses. Syracuse by 3 points. That's a 9-3 team. Fran Brown's job there is insane.
What would Alabama do to Cuse?
6 points to Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech took Georgia to 8 overtimes. They should have beat them.
They did.
And they lost by combined 9 points.
But you have to
in 2
remember.
losses.
You have to remember here. We're talking ACC and we're talking SEC.
But what are they doing on the field?
That's 2 different planets.
Alabama shouldn't have played a single game this season. They didn't have to play a single game because the
'Cause
committee
they're
said, committee's going, you're Alabama, you're in. Don't worry, guys. They should have played a single effing game.
That's a bar. All right, let's get into the matchup.
Yes.
Go ahead. You still want to gripe. Go ahead. I can tell. You got it on your chest.
You want ratings?
Go
Who are
ahead.
the 3 best players in college football this year? Ashton
Shador.
Jeanty,
Yeah.
Travis Hunter,
Yeah.
Shador Sanders.
Yeah.
You possibly could have none of them in.
And then Cam Ward, I would throw into fourth. Whatever.
You want the two best quarterbacks in. Like, this is what I want.
Yeah.
I don't want Alabama in. If Cam Ward's on Bama, put Bama in.
Okay, so that is a difference between us.
I want Cam
the
Ward,
brands.
I want Shador Sanders, and I want the Heisman finalists.
That's a difference.
None of them are going to be in. And they're all very important for their teams. And by the way, like,
Yeah.
Bama had 3 losses.
Yeah.
I get it. It's the SEC.
Yes. What do you mean?
But Colorado, now that loss to Kansas is
Jesus.
unforgivable.
You're going to talk to me about Colorado?
Yes, because when you have a quarterback like Shador Sanders,
Oh,
and when you have a quarterback like Cam Ward, you can win any game. But when you have a quarterback like Jalen Milroe, you'll lose to anybody.
All right, here's at least some clarity between us. I want the brands. I want the big schools. I want Bama. I want Texas. I'm getting them. I want Oregon. I'm getting them. I want Penn State. Getting them. Check. Notre Dame. Check. Georgia. Check. Ohio State. Check. Tennessee. Check. I don't give a damn. These players come and go, bro. They're interchangeable year in, year out. I need the brands, and I'm getting them. Let's run through some matchups right now. All right, buys. Oregon, Texas, SMU, Boise. Matchups we'll get right out of the gate. Number 5, Penn State against number 12, Arizona State. Who would you take? I'm going Penn State
Penn
here.
State, Happy Valley, ASU. Like, James Franklin doesn't win big games, but
He'll
Arizona
win this and then lose.
Arizona
Right?
State's coach is not ready for that stage.
All right, Notre Dame, Bama that we talked about. You're clearly taking Notre Dame.
It's gonna be cold weather.
Did you mention you don't like Jalen Milroe? Did anyone catch that?
This is me liking Marcus Freeman in that team. I don't
okay.
like Riley Leonard at all.
Hey, he's a prospect. They're
Yeah.
talking late first round, early second round for him.
Yeah, it's like if you like your egg salad with raisins in it and no seasoning, that's Riley Leonard.
He reminds me of Daniel Jones, actually.
Imagine the Giants drafted Riley Leonard.
He's
That
a
would be the funniest thing.
Big, strong arm.
He's not as athletic.
Can move.
Yeah.
He can move. He's not as athletic. He can move,
Jones
though.
is athletic.
Hey, bro, Riley Leonard, you don't sleep. Don't sleep. Don't sleep. I would also take Notre Dame, by the way. Georgia, Indiana.
Georgia.
Same.
That front
They're
seven.
going to smoke Indiana.
Yeah.
Here's a good one.
Can
Ohio-
we say this though?
Yeah.
Like Alabama and Notre Dame. Now let me take the step back. I love that. For like this is what's great about this
For college football.
You have home site college football playoff games.
Facts.
Alabama, if we're in a touchdown Jesus
Yeah.
in January?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Then like Indiana at Georgia, an overlap you'll never have. And like in
Right.
Athens,
Right.
next one, Tennessee at Ohio State.
Hard.
That's sick.
That is.
That is Tennessee in the horseshoe. That is sick.
By the way, not for nothing with Ryan Day, but, his seat being as hot as it is on his arse. I like Tennessee in that game. There's my upset special. It's not much of an upset. What's that, an 8-9 seed? I would take Tennessee in that game, though. I would. I think the distractions and everything going on with Ryan Day, Tennessee's really good this year. They had a little bit of hiccups here and there, but that team is talented and could rattle off and go deep in this thing.
Yeah.
That's a game I'm watching.
Hey, you like brands? Imagine 12-5 matchup in Happy Valley at Penn State, Miami at Penn State. Come on. See?
Hey, Ole Miss fans,
See?
Miami fans, this is your guy right here. Not me. Roll damn tide.
Jackson Dart and Ole Miss
Dart.
at Notre Dame. Come on. Pull off the upset. Face SMU.
Want the latest on the Patriots and the NFL? Drake May needs help. Help me, please. And we discuss how he can get it quick on NESN's football podcast, Foxborough Rush. It's available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and wherever else podcasts are found. All right, let's talk some Thursday night football. Come on now. Packers
I love this.
at the Lions.
Love it.
Huge game.
Love it.
Not for nothing, George. If the Packers win this game, things get real interesting because everyone just put the Lions as division champs and put the Lions as a number 1 seed in the NFC. But you look up and a couple things are happening while everyone's anointing and crowning and roaring with the Lions. The Eagles are pretty damn good. If the Packers win this game, could the Packers win the division? Could they leapfrog the Lions in the standings in terms of seeding for the NFC? George, this is a monster game on Thursday night.
Packers are 9-3. They're the 6th seed in the NFC, I believe. Lions 11-1. They're holding on to the 1 seed. Packers, like this is their playoff lives
It
right now.
really
Like how
is.
tight the race is in the NFC.
Yes.
Then you have the Vikings, just 2 losses, just ahead of them in their division.
That's right.
But with how tight everything is, like that's it. This is the Lions holding on. to the 1 seed with how good the Eagles have been, and the Packers holding on to be a wild card team. And both teams, you have 2 top 5 offenses. Mm-hmm. Both can score at a ridiculous rate. Both make everything work based off the ground game.
Yeah. 2
defenses that are talented with good coordinators. Packers turn the ball over a ton, but the Lions are smart with the football. And this could be an NFC Championship game. It really could.
It really could.
It can boil down to that. We have to see how the seeding goes out. Last time they met, obviously Lions got the win. What was it, 24-14, but it was 24-3 at a point. But that's in Green Bay with the rain. That's very impressive by the Lions. I'm not going to deny that. But time of possession was basically knotted even. Packers outgained the Lions by 150 total yards. Green Bay went 1 for 4 in the red zone with a 45-yard field goal missed. Lions went 2 for 4. Packers had 10 penalties. And at one point late in the game, Josh Jacobs stopped for no gain on 4th and 1 on Detroit's 9. That was the game. The final score makes it a little closer than it was. It was 24-3 at that point. Matt LaFleur is one of the best schemers and play callers in the NFL. Mm-hmm. Ben Johnson, enough said on that. Dan Campbell, one of the best head coaches. Aaron Glenn, Jeff Hafley, so good. Brian Branch with the Lions. Xavier McKinney in this Packers defense. Jair Alexander, Kenny Clark, all the guys they got. This is going to be a good game, man. It's going to be close.
I love that.
With everything on the line, too.
Yeah, I love that we're getting such a great game on Thursday Night Football, because the brand of Thursday Night Football since they've started doing this is, we get crappy games. It's too short of a week. Yeah. Players are at a disadvantage. And I think to a certain extent that has been true up until this season. This season we've got some really good – we've had some duds, don't get me wrong, but we've had some really great matchups as well. And this is, to me, this is like the icing on the cake, to be honest with you. Packers-Lions – as George said, I think you really laid out the stakes, what's at stake here beautifully. I can't wait for this game. And by the way, I'm going upset. I like what the Packers are doing lately. And it's not really taking away from what the Lions have been doing, because I sing their praises too. They were a juggernaut all year, beating the hell out of everyone. They were embarrassing teams. Home, away, it didn't matter. They could come in your building and beat your ass, or they could do it on their turf. But lately, injuries starting to catch up a bit and pile up, which happens to good and bad teams this time of year. But they're being tested more. We all watched it on that big stage in Thanksgiving. I mean, Matt Eberflus and Caleb Williams blew that. The Bears should have won that game. So we're watching the Lions being tested lately. The Packers, meanwhile, I'll be honest, they played the same night. No one talks about it. Everyone talks about that game we watched between the Bears and the Lions. But that same night, the Packers at home, Miami went into there and they demolished. I think that was the best game they played all year, particularly Jordan Love. And I don't think it's a coinky-dink that the Packers, as of late, have been hot and Jordan Love has been playing better. Remember, he dealt with an injury. He came back from it sooner than it was prognosed, than we all thought he was going to come back from, and he looked it. He didn't look healthy. He didn't look right. It took him a while. But there's a saying in sports that I think is true. You can play yourself healthy. Mm-hmm. And what's happened now, in the however many weeks since that Jordan Love has been back, he's been getting better and better and healthier, and he has arrived. That's what I saw Thanksgiving night. Now, I'll be honest. I had a couple beverages on Thanksgiving night. It was a little blurry.
Couple.
It was a little blurry.
You were texting me.
Yeah, it was a little bit blurry for a brother. But my takeaway was Jordan Love's for real. Jordan Love's the truth. I think the Packers go into Detroit. I think they win this game.
This is in Detroit, man. We haven't even mentioned that yet.
I think they win this game, bro. I'm taking the Packers here, and then all of a sudden, the conversation in the NFC changes. It changes everything. The Packers, I think, are quietly on people's radar right now. You respect them, LaFleur. Most people think Jordan Love can play that defense. They run the ball with Josh Jacobs. They really have everything. Mm-hmm. But I don't think people are really putting them in that rarefied air as the Lions and as the Eagles. If the Packers win this game, like I suspect they will, you have to now include them in that conversation with the Lions and the Eagles in terms of Super Bowl teams. Mm-hmm. You have to include them. I think they're going to take that. Jordan Love is going to be the catalyst. Remember, you brought up that game in the rain in Lambeau. The Packers defense did a great job in that game. They lost that game because of a pick six that killed them. And I just think like now they can sort of grow from that. They can fix those mistakes.
Yep.
They'll be more buttoned up coming into Detroit. You won't have the elements. I like the Packers here because of momentum. They just feel like right now they're trending in the right direction where the Lions are just trying to kind of maintain. That's not going to work.
You could get the Packers like 3.5, 4. You're taking them straight up.
3.5.
You could take 4 points.
They call me Moneyline Trav, baby. I'm known in these streets as Moneyline Trav. Give me the Packers Moneyline, baby, plus 145. Come on.
You get a total around 52 in this. Like I think the final we're going to see is like 24-21, like in the 40s.
Oh. That one in Lambeau was low scoring.
And it was rain.
Well, it was rain.
But on the turf, both teams run the ball. They eat up clock.
Yeah.
The Lions aren't an explosive offense. Like they're methodical downfield, use a lot of clock, and just like slowly kill you and don't allow you to get in a rhythm. But it's how good both defenses are. And like Aaron Glenn, Jeff Hafley, like they know the opponent's offensive scheme. Like there's familiarity there and overlap in scheme, but there's also like just a pure IQ on how good those two defensive coordinators are.
Yeah.
Again, with the talent, especially what you get in the secondary. I think this is going to be a low-scoring one. I think, Trav.
Okay.
It's going to be 24-21 Packers.
Oh, you're rolling with me.
I'm going to take the points, though.
Well,
I could get
should.
Packers plus 4. It's what I did with the Eagles. I said Eagles plus 3 against Baltimore. You said money line. I said I'm not going to be greedy. Eagles did win, but I'm just going to be smart, and I'm going to play the long game. I'm just going to take the points on this one.
All right. I want to do this just because I'm curious in what you think. Let's go scale of 1 to 10. Confidence factor. You with me?
Yeah.
I'm going to just run through the top couple seeds in the NFC, and you tell me who you trust.
1 to 10.
10 being the highest, yeah. Lions.
9.
Eagles.
9, 8 points. 9.
Yeah, no decimals.
9.
All right. Vikings. They're the 3rd seed right now, bro.
6.
Oh.
Sam Darnold.
All right. Packers.
7.5. I go decimals. I don't
Give me 8.
Fine, 8, round up.
Commanders.
6.
Okay, that's your playoff field right now. Boy. I think, okay, I found our difference. I'm not as high on the Lions as you are. I think I'm at what'd you say, a 9 for them, right?
9. For them and the Eagles.
Listen, I'll be honest.
Where I'll put like the Bills are an 8.
The Lions fans are going to come after me, but I'm just going to tell you. Let me preface my comments by saying I have a Super Bowl ticket.
This
on
is
the
an unofficial
Detroit
Lions podcast. You're going to do this.
I know. I'm doing it. It must be said. It's the elephant in the room. You're still the Lions. Hey, Lions fans, can we have an honest convo, you and I? You're still the Lions. Are you yourself, be honest, not waiting for anybody to pull the rug from under you? Could you not see? Can you bring up the Lions schedule, please? Could you not see a world in which this last month of the season, you lose a couple games, you lose a little steam, little momentum, and I'm talking to you, Lions fans, look in the mirror and you start second-guessing your team. You start second-guessing, is this really our year? You start saying to yourself, damn, are we still the Lions? I'm just saying, Green Bay wins this game, watch. My confidence level with the Lions is not as high as yours, my friend. They could pull, dare I say, a Lions. I think it starts tonight. I like the Packers. What's their schedule?
Versus Green Bay, home.
Okay.
Home against Buffalo.
They could lose a couple in a row, people. Go on.
At Chicago, win. They're beating the Bears.
Just go on.
There's a stank on that.
Who's next?
At San Francisco, win.
Who's next?
Sunday night, warm weather. Versus Minnesota, where they could have the 1 seed locked up and they'll be resting their guys. So I'm not even going to visit Week 18.
They could lose 3 more games.
Stop.
Dog. They could lose this game tonight. They could damn sure. I will take the Bills. I'm just telling you.
There's not going to be any good teams.
And my only trepidation with Sam Fram would be if they're fighting for a wild card. I don't trust them, but if they're fighting for a wild card, I could see the Niners knocking them off. But for sure, I feel confident in Packers and Bills. So that's 2 more. I'm just telling you.
You have disregarded everything we've seen the last 13, 12 games.
Bro, I have a Super Bowl ticket on said team.
Yeah.
And I'm disregarding.
Yeah. I know. This is
Disrespectful,
wild.
ain't I?
Like, you're just going, they're going to lose 3. It's like, this isn't the Lions of the old.
But
This is the best team in the NFL.
Or?
It's not. Have you seen a Lions team this good ever before? Actually. Have you?
No, I have not.
Okay, there you go.
No, I have not. I'll give you that. I've been watching them lose a long time.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm a Barry Sanders fan. I'm a Stafford fan.
You know what I don't look at? I don't look at the team. I look at the players. I look at the coaches. Look at how they play. This Lions team's legit.
You trust Dan Campbell more than Matt LaFleur?
Yeah, Matt.
You a lie. You're lying.
Matt LaFleur's game management has been suspect since he started as head coach.
Dan Campbell's hasn't.
Look, yes, there was play calling. Don't go for it on 4th down. Kick a field goal. Stop momentum. I know. But I'm not saying you can't let Matt LaFleur off scot-free.
I mean, that's fair. I'm just saying, bro.
It's the win over Green Bay, the win over Houston, the blowout wins over the they're dropping 52 on a team. They're barely coming back and beating the Vikings. They're winning ugly matchups like against the Bears. Like, they win every different way. And that's the most telling part of Jared Goff is throwing 4 interceptions and they're coming back and winning.
All right.
It's not just pretty with this team. They find every which way to win.
All I'm saying, Lions fans, respectfully, as someone who has a Super Bowl ticket on you, if you were to tell me that they falter down the stretch a bit, I wouldn't be surprised. Doesn't mean you can't win the Super Bowl, but I'm taking the Packers here.
You're mean.
Just
You're
saying.
rude.
You can enter the chat too, whether you have a question about your favorite team or you need life advice, or even if you have something you just need to get off your chest. We're here for you right here on Boston Has Entered the Chat. Tweet at us using the hashtag NESN Chat or email the chat at NESN.com. We want to hear from you. All right, let's talk about some of these NFL
This is
head coaches.
Lions fans' hopes and dreams, and that's
I know. And it's crazy because I made that bet in the offseason based off of what I saw in the NFC title game against the 49ers. Like, man, they should have beat the 49ers. It should be Chiefs-Lions in last year's Super Bowl. So I said they'll grow from that. They'll have an offseason. Dan Campbell will learn.
Yes.
And then they've
lost one game.
And they're beating the crap out of everyone all year. And I'm just like, man, I don't know. Something feels off. I think it's because it's the Lions. And now as the season wanes, injuries starting to creep up. I'm like, you know what? This could be it. This could be when the wheels come. As Chargers fans, as Lions fans, as teams who have a history of fading down the stretch, what it looks like when it starts to happen. This is the formula.
You know what Lions fans are the person that, just struck out on love their whole life.
Yes.
And then finally the person of their dreams said yes to a date.
Yeah.
They roll into the bar, they're glammed up, wearing their best fit possible. They walk into the bar, empty bar stool right next to the person of their dreams. They look, they smile, they're happy, they're about to sit down, and you're the guy that is sitting next to the bar, rolls out of this bar stool with a glass of wine, spills it all over their outfit. They melt down, and then the person of their dream goes, why was I going to date them? That's literally what you did.
That sounds like a them problem, not a me problem.
Oh, man.
Let's talk about the next NFL coach to get whacked. Now, I was trying to find odds for this, but I think it's so obvious that it's Doug Peterson that you can't even bet on it.
Dude, I was baffled he still has a job. Like, how does he still have a job out of the bye? You can't be more of a joke of a franchise than keeping Doug Peterson to this point. The only reason I thought he'd still be a head coach before the bye is because I was like, the bye's there, just keep him. He should have been fired 7 weeks ago. He was at the podium after the Aziz Al-Shaair hit, talking about it. And I go, wait, Doug Peterson didn't get fired?
Yes. Bro, I'll take it a step further. When Trevor Lawrence got hurt, that concussion, I was thinking to myself, why is Trevor Lawrence even playing? Your season has been over. Jacksonville's season was over before the season started.
Right, he was debating that surgery, too.
Right. That's right. He was banged up before he even got concussed. So I'm like, what's the point? And then I'm like, Doug Peterson made that decision. Why is he still employed to make that decision?
Yeah.
Jacksonville, big picture, macro, they made a big mistake in a few things. You should have fired when Eberflus and Saleh and all these guys who are getting fired during the season. Doug Peterson has not done enough for your franchise to garner that kind of respect to wait till after the season. I get he's a Super Bowl champ. I understand all that. But that was at another place what feels like a lifetime ago. What feels like a lifetime ago. It wasn't that long ago. If you're the Jaguars, what the hell do you care? He didn't win a Super Bowl for you. Get rid of him. What you do at that point is you let everyone know we're tanking any damn ways. We are benching Trevor Lawrence, not for performance or any of that, but because we don't want to get him hurt. We're looking ahead to next season, okay? By benching Trevor Lawrence, firing Doug Peterson, you are tanking. And guess what that means? Congratulations. Travis Hunter is a Jacksonville Jaguar in April. What's wrong with that? Nothing.
Best thing possible.
You have, now all of a sudden, look how attractive you are as a job to an actual really good head coach candidate. You have Trevor Lawrence, who's a franchise QB, for better or worse, we can debate, right? Where's he rank? Is he any good? We could talk about that. But he's your guy. He's under contract. He's clearly a franchise quarterback. You have that. You have Travis Hunter, a number one pick. What head coaching candidate wouldn't want to go there? So I just think Jacksonville kind of botched this from the beginning. I think Doug Peterson should have already been fired. He's definitely the next one to go.
Yeah, Doug Peterson's out. Where would you go next? Like Brian Dable could be the guy. He's going to finish the season. Mike McCarthy. Look, the fact that Doug Peterson has this job right now, he's the first firing. It's not even going to make it to like Black Monday.
Yeah,
it's like season ends on a Sunday, Black Monday. No, he's like just Sunday nights. Like, Doug, thanks, you're done.
Yeah, both of those guys you named are going to get fired. I would think McCarthy's
He's just not going to get renewed.
Right. Well,
Dable's
right.
fired.
I guess technically it's not a firing for him, right?
Yeah.
Because it's obviously not going to come during the season. But Peterson's a guy who should go. I think the bigger question for me is, out of the available head coaching vacancies that we know of now, how would you rank them? Like, who has the most attractive landing spot? If you, Mr. George the GM, if you were a head coach, out of the jobs available, where would you want to go? Like, rank 'em.
Chicago.
Chicago one?
$82 million in cap space. You have your rookie quarterback cost control. You have your wide receiver 2, Roma Dunze. You have DJ Moore under contract. Montez Sweat, Jalen Johnson.
Right.
That's 4 of the 5 pillar positions. You just need to figure out tackle and offensive line.
What you can do.
You have $82 million in cap space again.
Yeah. It's Chicago.
Caleb Williams is good. It's Chicago, big
bro.
market.
Yeah.
So 1 would be Chicago. I want 2 to be the Jets, but I wouldn't want to coach for Woody Johnson. But same thing. Garrett Wilson, Sauce Gardner, Quinnen Williams, Olu Fashanu.
Yeah.
You don't have to. Aaron Rodgers is gone. That contract's done. He's not coming back. You don't have to deal with Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
But you just have a dumb owner. The Saints are just still cap hell.
Yeah.
They're still stuck.
They made a mistake.
There's Bears, and then it's all the way down Jets, Saints.
I'll tell you what the Saints did wrong. Mm-hmm. And I said this at the time. And then for some reason I went against my initial gut and started believing Derek Carr would matter. But I thought when Breeze retired and Sean Payton moved on and that era was over, I thought they should have tore that down to the studs and rebuilt right then and there.
Yeah.
And then if you think about that timeline, by now they should be cooking, right? They didn't do that. They said, we're still close, and they went and got Derek Carr. I said, that's a mistake. And then I got sucked into it. I thought, you know what, maybe this will work because the roster's really good, and Derek Carr can make it happen. And Dennis Allen was a dumb coach, and Derek Carr is a dumb quarterback. Like, I'm done with that,
That's
okay?
big for you.
I know. This is growth. I was wrong. He sucks. So they really should have rebuilt, and because of that, I have them last. I'll go Bears. I agree with you. Chicago, the big market, Caleb, everything you said is true. I actually think the Bears, regardless of these jobs, it's a very intriguing job. And then I would go Jets because it is still New York, and you do have talent there.
Yeah.
And the Saints are way down. I have the Jets closer to the Bears than you think,
but
I have the Saints way down.
You gave me the 3 out of the available. I'll give you the actual 3 top head coaching vacancies. Bears are still 1. Everything
I think so.
Giants are 2. You have $60 million in cap space. You have your defensive line. You have Andrew Thomas. You have Malik Neighbors.
You're saying of jobs that will come open.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Giants job's open.
You don't like that Jacksonville gig?
No, I don't like it at all.
Okay.
Then I don't know. 3rd best opening, Patriots. $132 million in cap space, and you have the quarterback. You need a lot more to do.
Yeah.
But when those are jobs I would want, and those are jobs that are sought after if you're a good head coaching candidate. Jets, Saints, Jaguars, I'm good.
Okay, so
Bears, Giants, Patriots, those are sought after jobs. That's the worst part. That you tie yourself to a guy 5 years ago, and Robert Kraft's like, well,
I knew 5 years ago.
Gerard's okay because look, he's a head coach a year before the actual plan was. We didn't think fired Bill. According to you, 5 years ago he was head coach ready.
Facts.
So how can you say right now he's not head coach ready? Because 5 years ago he was. Robbie, Roberto. Like, what are you doing? That Patriots job is sought after, and if you made the right decision and did not spoil a franchise quarterback in all this cap space and a top 5 pick, you would go out and get the best head coaching candidate possible, Ben Johnson, and you would get the best front office candidate possible as well. Go to the Detroit Lions. Look at how they built that roster. That's what you would do.
Man, that boy is preaching. I agree with you. The only teams you left off, Jags, Cowboys, and Raiders. But I still agree with your order there as well. The NBA season is here, and the big question is, will the Celtics repeat and claim banner 19? You can find everything about the NBA and its culture on NESN's basketball podcast, Hold My Banner. It's available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and wherever else podcasts are found.
You forgot to mention who hosts that show.
Yours truly.
And
my esteemed producer, Ante Campbell.
Bang.
I call him the walking, talking triple-double. All right, now, George, let's play ball. The Red Sox are reportedly, keyword, reportedly, looking for a starting pitcher via trade instead of free agency after missing out on Blake Snell, who I wanted. I was screaming from the high heavens for Blake Snell. So now reportedly they're looking out for a starting pitcher via trade. Mm-hmm. To this, I say, duh. Look, I think they should be looking hell and high water. Turn over every rock. Look everywhere for pitching. I mean, trade, free agency. To be honest, I don't even think you need to trade. Not that I'm against it, but I think there's plenty of arms on the free agent market.
Yeah, but to get a Garrett Crochet who has a year of arbitration left.
Okay, well, that's a different conversation. Yeah. But, I mean, I'm willing to have that combo, but I'm also willing to just continue to scour free agency. There's arms available. There were arms available last year, too. Like, I don't think it has to be one or the other, in other words.
Yeah.
If you told me they traded for a pitcher and signed a free agent pitcher, great offseason. Thanks for playing.
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah. I get why it's news, but to me, it's like, do whatever the hell it takes. Mm-hmm. Trade, free agency, I'm fine with it.
Any avenue possible, they have to add an ace. And, there's the way of, you go the Garrett Crochet route, just 25 years old, coming off a career high in innings pitched at just 146. So, first season as the guy. Yeah. But he would step in and be the guy here. I mean, four-seam heavy, but uses a sweeper. He gave from 97 down to 85. Yeah. Again, you got to hit on the fact that he's 25 years old. You have a year of arbitration. Yep. So, that is cost-effective for a team that may not want to be paying a tax.
For now.
But what you can do with a Garrett Crochet, and then you could get a Max Fried on a 2-year deal. And Max Fried, that's a free agent. That's a guy
free agent.
That's 2 years, $26 million a year. Let's say if that's a number. Sinker, slider, sweeper. That's his 4 primary pitches along with the fastball. But he has 7 tools in his bag.
Sure.
And he's an off-speed pitcher. So at 30 years old, yes, but that's a guy that will last a while because he doesn't put a big strain on his shoulder. And I just go back to the 2021 World Series run. He was roughed up in the CS. He was roughed up in the World Series. Then you go game 6, 6-inning pitch, no earned runs, 6 strikeouts. Yeah. It's just been nails for the Braves and been on a big stage.
Yeah.
I want a Max Fried.
Oh, me too.
And I think that how much and the fact that he already has a sweeper in his arsenal, that ties in with Andrew Bailey in the Red Sox pitching coach. If the Red Sox go out and sign a Juan Soto, you can't mess around. You can't leave anything for chance. Because I love how the length of his contract will be prime.
Yeah.
But you have to take advantage of, if you get a Juan Soto, Jarren Duran still in his prime.
Sure.
Ceddanne Rafaela still in his prime. Trevor Story healthy. Rafael Devers in his prime. You can't mess around with the pitching. Because when they go after a pitcher, you have to look at who do we want backing up with the runs that Juan Soto will put up.
Yeah.
It's not A and B. It's not black and white. Everything's gray. Every move they make is tied into if they get Juan Soto.
I think that's well said. I will also say this. I've noticed now in we'll just call it modern day recent baseball, right? It's balanced now. Once upon a time, pitching won you World Series. Okay, your bats could go cold. If your pitchers were stellar, you're winning the World Series.
Yeah.
I think those days are gone. If you notice now, it's balanced. You got to have bats too.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, your bats go cold, you're going home. How's that sound? Ask the Yankees about that. So the Dodgers, meanwhile, had pitching issues all year. You get in a World Series, pitching's better. Bats are the Dodgers bats. They're all-stars, and they win the World Series. You got to have balance. I personally don't want to play the trade game too much because you have so many great prospects here. I'm greedy. I don't want to give anyone up. I'd rather go free agency. I love your Freed idea in free agency. Corbin Burns is available.
Stud.
Now those are top tier guys. There's another tier down for a little bit cheaper.
Yeah.
You can get a Nathan Eovaldi back here in Boston. You can get a Shane Bieber, who I know people say, well, he's old. Well, no Shaq, but he's an upgrade over anything you have here, if you ask me. So, as I said, for the record, I don't give a damn trade, free agency, whatever you got to do. Open tryouts for all I care. I want the arms. That's the key here.
Look, you have Tanner Houck. You have Brian Bayo. Garrett Whitlock, you can figure out.
Yeah.
You get a Bieber, he'd be a good 3, and that can make
That's what I'm
Bayo be your
saying.
4th guy in the rotation.
That's what I'm saying,
You
bro.
need an ace, though. And don't go cheap. Go get a Max Fried. Go get a Corbin Burns. Let Houck be that number 2, and let 3, 4, 5 sort itself out.
You don't love Eovaldi, huh?
I like Eovaldi. He'd be fine as a 3. Again, he could be a 3.
Right.
And then Brian Bayo's your 4th guy in your rotation.
So it's almost tiers.
Yeah.
It's like Freed and Burns are like.
You need that ace, and you need that stallion.
Yeah.
That is pitch and could do the workload as well. Like you need someone that can last the season. And build out the bullpen. Like if Whitlock goes to just be a long-term out-getter, him with the Raldis Chapman, that's a great 1-2 setup for Lucas Giolito to come in and close out in the 9th.
Yeah.
That's pitching staff. You need out-getters.
Right.
You don't need closers. You don't need starting. You need out-getters.
I like what you said, though. Everything ties to Soto.
Everything ties to
Everything.
Juan Soto.
It all comes back
It's
to Juan
exciting to
Soto.
talk about it, though.
It is.
It's like you could be the San Francisco Giants and you're not in it at all. It's exciting to talk about.
Yeah, it's relevancy, right? No doubt. Boston has entered the chat. That's a wrap for us here inside the PNC Bank studio. For Travis Thomas, for George Malecki, for our esteemed producer, Ante Campbell, the walking, talking triple-double. We appreciate you always. And just remember, this is the key from this episode. It all comes back to Juan Soto. Come on, Juan. We're ready for you in Boston. Come on home, baby.
Juan of Juan.
Juan of Juan. Thanks for watching. Peace.